Hello and welcome to this edition of Express News, your window to the top 100 headlines making news across India and the world in just 30 minutes. I'm Rukma, so let's begin. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh lays foundation stone of Thal Sena Bhavan in New Delhi. Army Chief M.M. Naravane also present at the event. Thal Sena Bhavan, spread across 7.5 lakh square meters of the area, will be constructed to house office complex and parking, expected to be ready in 5 years. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh says Thal Sena Bhavan an inspiration to countrymen. It will represent the unsung heroes of the armed forces who have sacrificed their lives for the country. US President Donald Trump will be on a two-day visit to India from 24th to the 25th of February. This will be President Trump's first visit and first standalone visit by US President to India. President Trump's visit will be a brief but intense, with all essential elements of a state visit and 2 additional legs in Ahmedabad and Agra, all squeezed into less than 36 hours. One of the main focal points of US President Donald Trump's India visit is to strengthen trade relations between both the countries. India and US are expected to make new deals in areas of energy and IPR, but India is going to make all efforts in making the US GSP system applicable for India. On the COVID-19 outbreak, Ministry of External Affairs says India will be sending an aircraft to evacuate Indian nationals still remaining at Wuhan in China, as well as to assist China by sending medical supplies there. China has thanked India for the assistance in tackling and containing the virus. Indian government, meanwhile, is closely monitoring the situation. External Affairs Ministry says Government of India is in touch with Japanese authorities regarding 8 Indians aboard quarantine ship off Japan's coast who are reportedly infected with novel coronavirus. Festival of Mahashivratri currently being celebrated with great enthusiasm across the country today. On this day, devotees worship Lord Shiv, observe a fast and perform various religious activities. In Karnataka, on the occasion of Mahashivratri, 25 feet tall Shivling at Brahma Kumari's in Kalaburgi, decorated with around 300 kg pigeon peas. President, Vice President and Prime Minister take to Twitter, wishing countrymen on the auspicious occasion of Mahashivratri today. Prime Minister to address opening ceremony of first ever Khelo India University Games at Bhubaneswar on 22nd February tomorrow, largest ever competition held at the university level in India. We'll have about 3,500 athletes from over 150 universities across the country participating. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra slams AIMIM leader Asaduddin Owaisi, says he has been trying to divide people on the basis of religion and population. Sambit Patra says if Congress had ever trusted the Indian Army, Madhya Pradesh CM Kamal Nath would not have asked proof of surgical strikes by the army. On Kamal Nath's controversial remarks on sterilizing men, BJP spokesperson says Congress is repeating history. Following BJP backlash, Kamal Nath government in Madhya Pradesh reverses directive to health workers in the state to bring at least one man for sterilization or face penalty. Madhya Pradesh Health Minister Tulsi Silawat says state government has withdrawn the order. Directorate General of Civil Aviation proposes introduction of regulation for examination of aviation personnel for consumption of psychoactive substance like cannabis, opioid and other variants. In first phase, flight crew members and ATCs will be examined at 6 airports. Himachal Pradesh's tourist hotspots, Kufri and Shimla, receive fresh snow up to 23 centimeters. Shimla Met Centre says Tribal District of Lahore and Spiti's Administrative Centre Keelong continues to be coldest place in the state at -3.7 degrees Celsius. Union Food Processing Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal says India's organic food market, growing at 17% annually, has the potential to grow at a faster pace. Badal and WCD Minister Smriti Irani were jointly inaugurating Organic Food Festival for Women Entrepreneurs at Delhi. More than 180 women entrepreneurs, self-help groups and cooperatives taking part in 3-day Organic Food Festival, organized in Delhi with the theme Unleashing India's Organic Market Potential. Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal says festival would be organized 6 times a year across India and eventually make it an international exhibition. Strikes by advocates for flimsy reasons on all working Saturdays for more than the past 35 years in 3 districts of Uttarakhand has caught the attention of the Supreme Court, which rapped them for resorting to such a joke. As per reports, advocates were on strike for 455 days in Dehradun district, followed by 515 in Haridwar district between years 2012 to 2016. NSE includes technology consulting and digital solutions company Larsen & Toubro Infotech in its Nifty Next 50 index, which represents top 50 companies considered most lucrative for investors. Paytm Payments Bank announces it has entered into strategic partnership with ride-hailing companies Ola and Uber. Tie-ups would empower over 1 lakh driver partners to conveniently use Paytm FASTags and seamlessly commute across the country. Domestic stock, bond and forex markets remain closed on account of Mahashivratri today. A machine that dispenses free platform tickets if people do sit-ups in front of it has been installed at Delhi's Anand Vihar railway station. Sharing a video of the machine, Railway Minister Piyush Goyal tweeted, "Savings along with fitness, a unique experiment is being made to encourage fitness." Indian Railways launches special Ramayana Express tour for passengers to visit special places associated with Lord Ram. Train circuit starts and ends in Delhi includes Ayodhya, Sitamarhi, Varanasi, Allahabad, Chitrakoot, Nasik, Hampi, Kanchipuram and Rameshwaram. The Artisans Bazaar, an art, craft, handlooms and lifestyle exhibition being held on February 21st to March 1st at Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad. Exhibition has on display contemporary arts, handloom saris, jewelry and other handicrafts. When Lual Mayen designed his first video game Salam inside a refugee camp, he hoped to provide some joy to the other young refugees like him. The game immerses players in the experience of fleeing a war-torn country where they have to find food and water, run from soldier gunfire, tend to their injuries and muster the energy to go on. Mara, the 54-year-old elephant, is now ready to say goodbye to her home in Buenos Aires before she sets on for her 2,700-kilometer trip to a new home in Brazil. Mara's road trip will take almost a week in an overland convoy, during which she will be housed in a huge box, accompanied by caretakers. Ten ballet dancers train at a barre, straightening their lithe limbs and standing on their toes. To the accompaniment of classical pianist, dancers returned this week after the Lunar New Year break, which had been extended because of the outbreak, and some are finding it hard to train while breathing through a barrier. International Mother Tongue Day being observed in West Bengal through various programs. Days observed to promote linguistic and cultural diversity. Yosef Kamara used to be a former gang leader from Sierra Leone's Give a Damn Gaza gang on the slums of Freetown, now hopes for a journey to fame, as he turned poet can offer an example to other wayward youths in Freetown where increasing numbers are joining gangs. In Beijing, communities have been restricted, roads blocked and people are ramping up efforts to curb outbreak of coronavirus that have so far killed 2,236 in China. Meanwhile, looking at the lives of those working at ground zero, comes the realization that fear has gripped everyone. Viktor Kazakovstev, 73-year-old pensioner in Russian city of Kirov, still strives to follow his passion for clothes. His fantastic looks, however, have made him a local celebrity. Viktor now has more than 50 costumes of second-hand clothing enhanced to his artistic taste. India's soft power apparent in Portugal's capital Lisbon in Europe. Indian classical dance forms embraced by the Portuguese. Music too connects the people of India and Portugal. China finds more than 75,000 cases of coronavirus and claims 2,236 lives, most of them from Hubei province and its capital Wuhan, have been lost. Hubei also revises its total number of confirmed infection cases by 220. China imposes severe controls in Wuhan, city of 11 million people, to halt the spread of the virus. Has taken urgent steps to keep the overall economy from crashing. Authorities also said on Friday that top officials deemed responsible for the outbreaks have been fired. Governments at different levels in China actively assisting work resumption, providing free transportation and enhanced health checkups for returning employees. Chuzhou city in East China's Anhui province starts piloting point-to-point transportation services for rural migrant workers. 5 new drugs in clinical trials as researchers and Chinese authorities launch more systematic vaccine tests for novel coronavirus. National Medical Products Administration accelerates approval procedure of new drugs. Hundreds of Japanese and foreign passengers disembark from a coronavirus-hit cruise ship near Tokyo amid growing disquiet in Japan about whether the government is doing enough to stop the virus spreading. South Korea's capital Seoul is banning rallies and shutting down branches of the Shincheonji Church amid country's spike in cases of coronavirus. South Korea has 156 cases of the virus. An Israeli woman who was a passenger on a coronavirus-hit cruise ship tests positive upon return to her home country, says Israel's health ministry. She was one of 11 Israeli passengers who were brought back to Israel after being aboard the cruise liner Diamond Princess. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings forecast impact of 75 cents per share to full-year adjusted earnings, citing cancellations and modifications of 40 voyages in Asia and refunds to customers due to coronavirus outbreak in China. Decriminalization of euthanasia and assisted suicide is a step closer to becoming a reality in Portugal after lawmakers approved a set of bills. The move was applauded by many, but opposed by religious groups and conservatives. Pro-euthanasia bills getting green light in Portugal came 2 years after Parliament rejected a bill to legalize voluntary euthanasia for terminal patients in the Catholic-majority country by a narrow margin. Outside Parliament, hundreds of Portuguese, old and young, protest against the bills. Dozens of people gathered at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, joining hands during a vigil for victims of an overnight shooting rampage in Hanau. Vigil comes in remembrance of 9 people shot dead by gunmen with suspected far-right links. Federal Judge Amy Berman Jackson sentences President Donald Trump's longtime advisor Roger Stone to 3 years and 4 months in prison for lying to Congress and tampering with witness in effort to protect Trump. Stone was convicted of lying to Intelligence Committee about his attempts to contact WikiLeaks, the website that released damaging emails of Hillary Clinton. The United States is preparing to sign a deal with the Taliban on February 29th, building on an agreement on reducing violence across Afghanistan, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. President Trump rallies with supporters in Colorado seeking to boost Senator Cory Gardner as state Senate election this coming November could help determine which party will control the upper chamber. Trump exudes confidence in his remarks, producing a strong showing for his campaign in November. 2 Turkish soldiers lose lives in Syrian government air raids and left another 5 injured near the northwest region of Idlib. Turkish defense President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Turkish forces and Syrian rebels fight government troops in northwest Syria. On Thursday, Russian warplanes strike back in a sharp escalation of an already intense battle over the last rebel bastions. Ceasefire talks between Libya's warring parties fighting over capital Tripoli continued today. Talks began on Tuesday in Geneva between the internationally recognized Tripoli government and its main rivals, the eastern-based Libya National Army. Iranians began voting in a parliamentary election that is unlikely to change the Islamic Republic's troubled relations with the US after thousands of candidates were barred from the field in favor of hardliners. Iran's top authorities, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini, was the first to cast his vote. Around 300,000 public school teachers in Colombia launched two-day strike to protest violence against profession and killings of activists and other community leaders. Bolivia's electoral body says former President Evo Morales was ineligible to run for a Senate position in a May election rerun of a voided vote late last year that sparked a political crisis and led to the leftist leader's resignation. Authorities in Peru have come under fire for the handling of the brutal murder of Solciret Rodriguez, a women's activist in 2006, with police arresting two suspects linked to the case. Incident again came out when the case was reopened and police found Rodriguez's dismembered body. Municipal authorities in northern Mexican city of Saltillo order removal of mural that seeks to raise awareness on the wave of femicides that have shocked the nation. The mural features images of 3 victims of gender-based violence and messages calling for justice for the women illustrated in the mural. Togo's President Faure Gnassingbé looks set to claim 4th term at the polls to extend his family's half-century domination of the West African nation after weathering protests in 2017 and 18. Gnassingbé pushed through constitutional changes last year, enabling him to run again and potentially remain in power for another decade. South Sudan's president and its former rebel leader jointly announced they will form a unity government by Saturday deadline, laying to rest questions over whether the deadline would be pushed back yet again. Police in Zambia arrest 16 people suspected of being behind a spate of attacks in which people have been sprayed with poisonous substances and some have died. President Edgar Lungu last week ordered soldiers to join the police in patrolling the streets after the attacks, which have sparked public outrage. A 28-year-old New Zealand man who murdered Grace Milane was handed life imprisonment with a minimum of 17 years behind bars by the Auckland High Court. Grace went missing in Auckland on December 1, 2018. While traveling after finishing university, the man, whose name has been suppressed by the court, was convicted for murder by a jury on November 22 last year. 2 people killed, 11 suffer minor injuries after Australian interstate train carrying 150 passengers derails outside Melbourne. Train, which was travelling from Sydney, came off the rails near the town of Walton, 50 kilometres from Melbourne. Desert locusts attacking Pakistan's Punjab province caused heavy damage to crops, bringing economic losses to local farmers. In the village of Punjab's Okara district, large area of farmland devastated by swarming locusts. Indian Grandmaster SP Sethuraman posts win over compatriot Deep Sengupta in second round to be in joint lead with 3 others in A group of Aeroflot Open Chess Tournament. Indian Grandmaster Vidit Gujrathi suffers defeat at hands of Czech Grandmaster David Navara in 8th round of Prague Chess Festival's Masters category, still remains on top of the standings. Veteran Indian left-arm spinner Pragyan Ojha announces retirement from international first-class cricket with immediate effect. 33-year-old last played 24 tests between 2009 and 13, in which he took 113 wickets. Indian batsmen, with the exception of Ajinkya Rahane and Mayank Agarwal, struggle as they score 122 for 5 on rain-curtailed first day of the opening test against New Zealand. Ajinkya Rahane's unbeaten 38 was a saving grace amid a disappointing show from the other top-order batsmen, as India struggled to reach 122 for 5 at tea on the first day of the opening test against New Zealand. Veteran New Zealand batsman Ross Taylor makes history when he takes the field against India in the opening test, as he becomes the first player to play 100 matches in all three formats of the game. India defeats defending champions Australia by 17 runs in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup opener at Sydney. Poonam Yadav's 4 for 19 derailed Australia's chase of 133. They were all out for 115, just one ball short of 20 overs. Opener Shafali Verma blasts 29 of 15 balls, studded with 5 fours and a 6, but Jess Johnson takes 2 wickets to reduce India to 47 for 3. Earlier, Australia won the toss and elected to field against India. England winger Jadon Sancho is in his happy place alongside Erling Braut Haaland as Borussia Dortmund teenagers look to continue their record-breaking form. All eyes will be on Stamford Bridge and the Emirates Stadium in Premier League this weekend as the battle to qualify for next season's Champions League heats up, while runaway leaders Liverpool can take another step towards the title. Asian Football Confederation says China will play home second leg of their Olympic women's football qualifier against South Korea in Sydney after deadly coronavirus made it impossible to hold the match in China. Barcelona has been hit recently by a series of setbacks on the field and conflicts inside the club. Lionel Messi says team needs to think and improve itself. The most anticipated heavyweight showdown in nearly 2 decades will transfix the boxing world when Unbeaten faces Tyson Fury in a long-awaited match. 19-year-old national-level boxer Pranav Raut from Nagpur allegedly ends his life by hanging himself in his hostel room in Akola in Maharashtra. He had represented Maharashtra at a national boxing championship in Delhi earlier this year. Top seed Simona Halep had to come from behind for a second straight day, overhauling Arina Sabalenka 3-6, 6-2, 6-2 to reach Dubai Championships semi-finals. Rory McIlroy starts strong in bid to complete his WGC trophy collection, firing a 6-under par 65 for a 2-shot lead in Mexico Championship. Indian golfer Anirban Lahiri gives himself a lot of chances, but the putts did not fall as he compiled a 2-under 17 opening round of PGA Tour's Puerto Rico Open. Brazilian Football Confederation unveils statue of Pelé at its headquarters, first of a series of events to commemorate June's 50th anniversary of team's third World Cup triumph. Vinesh Phogat yet again falls to Japanese nemesis Mayu Moakida to go out of the gold medal race, but Sakshi Malik will fight for the title after winning a semi-final bout of the Asian Wrestling Championship. Experts attending convention on conservation of migratory species of wild animals being held in India have warned that giraffes have gone extinct in at least 7 nations out of the 28 in which they used to be found. 2 giraffe subspecies, Nubian and Kordofan, are listed as critically endangered. Video of ice volcanoes erupting on the Oval Beach in America's Michigan surfaces on the internet. Ice volcanoes form as water is pushed on the ice sheet and as pressure builds up. Water shoots out through holes in the ice. Recent study published in Scientific Reports journal says fat around arteries may play an important role in keeping blood vessels healthy. Study revealed that the fat known as perivascular adipose tissue helps arteries let go of muscular tension. Italian Alps under attack by climate change with a consistent temperature increase. Singer Lana Del Rey calls off her European and UK tour due to illness. Crime thriller series The Blacklist has been renewed by NBC for an 8th season. Series features James Spader as Raymond Red Reddington, one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. Filmmaker Eli Roth set to direct movie adaptation of video game Borderlands. Production of the film will begin later this year. Popular dancer of reality show So You Think You Can Dance renewed for a 17th season by Fox. Kat Delay will be returning as the host. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, in collaboration with Confederation of Indian Industry, hosts India's networking reception on the opening day of 70th Berlin International Film Festival. Entertainment Society of Goa expresses displeasure over films that seek to portray tourist hotspot as a drug or prostitution destination, and is working on guidelines for movie makers to curb attempts to malign the image of the state. Veteran actor J.K. Simmons, set to star in dark comedy thriller My Only Sunshine. Mark Polanski is attached to direct the movie. Actor Megan Fox, set to essay role of an astronaut in Arclight film's suspense thriller Aurora. Project was announced by Banner at the ongoing Berlin Film Festival. Filmmaker Tom Harper, set to direct upcoming romantic drama Forever, film based on Mildred Cramp's romantic novel Love Affair. Actor Una Chaplin, granddaughter of screen legend Charlie Chaplin, set to star in horror movie Lullaby. Project based on mythological figure Lilith and will be directed by John R. Leonetti. Veteran actors Goldie Hawn, Diane Keaton and Bette Midler set to re-team after 24 years for comedy Family Jewels. Actor Shilpa Shetty Kundra and husband Raj Kundra announced they have become parents to a baby girl through surrogacy. Actor Priyanka Chopra Jonas, set to star as Ma Anand Sheila, personal secretary of Osho from 1981 to 85 in Amazon Studios movie Sheila. Rain Man director Barry Levinson will helm Sheila. Catch the latest edition of The Sound of Revolution, Chennai event celebrating hip-hop music at Grand Mall tomorrow, where 50 rap artists from India, Malaysia, Sri Lanka and France will be showing off their talent. After mesmerizing theatre lovers for a fortnight, Bharat Rang Mahotsav comes to a close at Delhi with Manipuri legend Ratan Thiam's play around the importance of identity, tradition and preservation of culture in modern times. A Malayalam music video released online is grabbing eyeballs for all the right reasons. It sensitively depicts overwhelming feeling of helplessness and despair that some mothers experience following childbirth. Goa's first ever multiplex built to host International Film Festival of India will be upgraded to world standards by Entertainment Society of India. Work is expected to begin next month. And that's all in this edition of Express News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.